I hope you are well, or as well as you possibly can be. I don't know if the sound is working. I don't know if the internet is good. I'm obviously not home. I'm at a beautiful friend of mine's house in California, and I was not planning on going live. Thank you for joining. Hello. I wasn't planning on going live today, and I'm not going to be live for long. But today I am hosting a full moon activation ceremony with this gorgeous Akashic record reader, Kamaya Healing. And we're going to be doing that later today at 5 PST, 8 EST. So if you want to join us, please feel free to. But I was cultivating some of the journaling prompts for our ceremony, and I was like, I have to share some of these. So I'm just going to give you guys like just a quick little insight on how to work with today's really, are you guys feeling this? This moon feels so potent to me. So I'm going to talk a little bit about I'm not going to talk too long because you know I could talk. I'm basically just going to give us some journaling prompts that we could work with relative to your rising sign. Because what I love about this moon is that it's aligning so beautifully with like the spring equinox. So it's all about sort of shedding what we have kind of outgrown in this season of life and how to call it, hi, thank you for joining, and what we can sort of like cultivate in that new vacated space. So essentially, in general, this full moon, I think with, Virgo kind of being like the ground beneath us, a sign that loves what's tactile, what can be logistically understood, and Pisces being its complete opposite, that's so fluid and boundless and formless. We're kind of like in this middle ground between structure and routine versus like divinity and free falling in the ethers. And so we're kind of building and cultivating routines surrounding our spiritual beliefs and our spiritual evolution. Thank you for joining. So if you want to like ritual and really ceremony and community, then definitely join us later. But I just want to give some insight on what you can journal on or kind of focus your attention on when it comes to releasing and cultivating via your rising sign. So starting from the top, if you are an Aries rising, then this moon is going to be transiting your 6th house. And so what I would basically make the format for your journaling prompt, or just where you want to focus your energy, is what beliefs have I outgrown surrounding blank. So I'll go through each theme relative to your rising sign. And what new beliefs or habits do I want to cultivate in this vacated space? So once again, what beliefs have I outgrown surrounding blank? And what beliefs or habits do I want to cultivate in this vacated space? So if you are an Aries rising, it's transiting your 6th house, which is the house of routine and health. So what I would center it on is what beliefs have I outgrown surrounding my routine and how I take care of myself, and what new beliefs or habits do I want to cultivate in this vacated space. If you're a Taurus rising, this is going to be in creativity, play, your childhood. This is all 5th house. So what beliefs have I outgrown surrounding my creative outlets, right? My upbringing and what I learned and the tools that I cultivated then, and also just like play, how I center and honor play. And what new beliefs or habits do I want to cultivate in this vacated space? And of course, wherever this moon is transiting is really going to like usher in some new life. So you could also just be feeling, if you're an Aries rising, new energy surrounding like wanting to cultivate a new routine or wanting to take care of your health in a more intentional way. Or if you're a Taurus rising, you probably are returning to play in a really intentional way, or creativity in an intentional way. So yes, moving on. If you're a Gemini rising, this is going to be in your 4th house, honey. So the 4th house is all about home, also our mother wounds and our inner dialogue. So what limiting beliefs have you outgrown surrounding your sense of home, your inner dialogue, and also your relationship with your mother or being your own maternal source? And what do you want to create now that you have sort of shifted those beliefs? If you're a Cancer rising, this is in your 3rd house, me not doing math well. So this is siblings. This is our ability to communicate and what it is that we want to say. What do we want to use our voice and our platform, and ultimately how do we stand in alignment with our truth? So if you're a Cancer rising, what limiting beliefs have I outgrown surrounding how I experience my siblings, how I view my siblings, but ultimately just like, do I feel safe enough to speak in my truth? Am I speaking my truth? Am I communicating in a way that's honest? And what do I want to do to shift into my new belief system? If you're a Leo rising, and I was training with someone who's Leo rising, so we were talking about the themes that were coming up surrounding her sense of self-worth. So this is limiting beliefs surrounding your sense of self-worth, but also just like money and finances and how you relate to the material world. So if you are in a place where you are sort of like recalibrating, feeling deserving or feeling worthy of having material or wanting material things, now is a beautiful time to sort of set intention around that. And if you are a Virgo rising, oh my God, you are really feeling this. It's in your first house. So if you're a Virgo rising, I would stem and center my journaling prompt on what beliefs have I outgrown surrounding my identity and how I live a life that is honest and true in accordance to who I authentically am, and how can I cultivate new beliefs, habits, and ways of being that surround that new belief. If you are a Libra rising, this is in your 12th house, which is quite the house to have a transit like this in. So it's all about your intuition. It's all about your inner world, your subconscious. So what have you outgrown surrounding just essentially like your relationship with your own clairvoyancies? If you trust your intuition, hi, my love, thank you for joining. We haven't got to Pisces rising. I know you're Pisces rising. You're last. So yes, this Virgo moon is transiting your 12th house if you are a Libra rising. Your intuition. Have you been questioning your intuition? How can you build and cultivate a healthier routine surrounding your intuition? If you're a Scorpio rising, this is in your 11th house. So 11th house is all about your friendships, right? Really surveying who is in my life and are they reflective of who I've evolved into? And also my relationship with the internet. So what have I outgrown surrounding my relationships on a platonic level, also just my relationship with social media and the internet, and just how I want to express myself within community, and how can I cultivate new beliefs or habits surrounding this new evolution of self. If you are a Sagittarius rising like myself, honey, it's in your 10th house. And so the 10th house is the house of career and father. So you definitely want to look at what you've outgrown surrounding your belief system in regards to just ultimately success. How do you define success? And can you redefine success to honor your truth, right? And as opposed to what you thought success was told at you to be versus what you feel success really is in your body. And also father wounds, any relationship surrounding how you relate and define your father, and just kind of how you show up in the world. What have you outgrown surrounding what you are meant to offer the world? And these are the last few. If you're a Capricorn rising, this is in your 9th house, which rules how we define God, traveling, just essentially higher learning also. So like academia, if you are shifting the way that you feel about studying, if you're considering or contemplating going back to school or studying something new, now's the time to release any limiting beliefs surrounding returning to school or wanting to travel to new places. You could also get like a hint that you want to go somewhere random. And just like God, how do you define God outside of what you've been told God is? We have Aquarius and Pisces left. So Aquarius, this is in your 8th house, which is another tough house to have a transit like this in. What I would say is, what limiting beliefs have you outgrown surrounding your definition of death? Whether it is like in the physicality of that loss, but also just like the endings of things. And also your shadow world. The 8th house is the Scorpio house that rules how we relate to our own shadows. So definitely reflect on that and cultivate new beliefs surrounding how you relate to shedding, how you allow shedding to happen in your life if you are like letting things go with ease. And lastly, Pisces rising. This is in your 7th house of relationships, right? All mutable signs are getting this. So Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius, and Geminis are getting these in the angular houses. So it's a really intense time. But yeah, Pisces rising, you're getting this in your 7th house of relationships. So what limiting beliefs have you outgrown surrounding your relationships, your romantic relationships, who you are in partnership, and what new beliefs or habits can you cultivate in this awareness of your own personal evolution? So that is how this Virgo full moon could specifically be transiting or impacting you. Those are some prompts that I would invite you to center your focus on for the next lunar transit, so the next couple weeks until we have a new moon. And if you want to ritual and community, you can join Kamaya Healing and I. The link is in my bio. Today at 5 Pacific time, 8 Eastern time. And otherwise, I hope that you have the best full moon and that you ritual and that you find some grounding, because this one's a doozy. I've been so scattered. But anyway, sending you all my love, and I'll see you next time.